I guess this is the end of Galactica. Well, sort of. Throughout the last month, we've seen all of the excellent work that has been done to the entire Forbidden Valley area. Oh, and also Nemesis was rethemed. Did you hear about that? I mean, it's not like it's been talked about over and over and over again. So a few videos ago, I did say that the Phalanx would be taking over the entire Forbidden Valley area, and that this would ultimately end to a rethemed Galactica in the long run. And honestly, from everything I've seen so far, I still believe this to be true, and I think this is a very likely option. Before we had the rework to the Forbidden Valley area, or half of the area, we only really had the entrance portal to Nemesis and not to the area itself. However, if you do walk to Forbidden Valley through the Cursed Fort Manor way, you do now see an entrance portal which does label the area as Phalanx Facility. With the Phalanx also taking over the arcade, the coffee shop, and also there's a new shop down there, it does kind of lead you to believe that the Phalanx are going to absorb the Galactica area and obviously the roller coaster restaurant into the Phalanx facility. I also ultimately could maybe see them kind of go down to that sky ride, possibly, that station in particular, and maybe you might see a couple of veins going up it, which I think would be pretty cool as well. There is a couple of ways they could retheme Galactica, and here's what I think is the most likely. In my opinion, I don't think it'll be as simple as just repainting a coaster, because they have set such a high standard now, and I think that is what they're aiming for, and what they have to aim for with Universal knocking on the door. What I would personally do is create some kind of rescue mission throughout Galactica. I think this would work with a flying element. I think this would also create an excellent pre-show, which that Galactica area has kind of got the facility for that. I also don't mind the actual portal they've got. I would take that down, but do something different. Maybe put an entire building over that section of tracks so that you fly through it. And that's almost like the beast is attacking you, because obviously you're going on this rescue mission. Maybe the Phalanx have been messing around with the beast. It's mutated. It's destroying the facility, and your rescue mission is to rescue some of the workers. And as obviously you're going down that first drop, you fly through the building, the beast tries to attack you. Maybe some cool animatronics, some sound, some smoke, something like that would be excellent through that first section. Providing they also theme the outside of the building very good as well, that would be a great way for hotel guests to come into the park. And as you get into that opened area where the picnic tables are, it would be great for people walking around just to see that building and hear all the sounds as well from Nemesis and also Galactica. So with sounds all over the place, the area would just be really, really nice to be in. I don't think it would personally be difficult for them to make it look like Nemesis has taken over the entire Forbidden Valley area. I've already kind of touched it with Sky Ride, with that station. You could maybe look like veins are coming up the station building. Also with the outside of Roller Coaster Restaurant, I know it's themed around all the different coasters in the park. However, the outside doesn't need to be. The outside is in, at the end of the day, Forbidden Valley. So make it look like it's in Forbidden Valley. Add a couple of veins going along the outside. Add a couple of Phalanx posters around the place. Again, with the sign, I still keep the sign there again, and you can make that maybe like taken over by the Phalanx. It could have some of the missing posters on, or Seek the Truth around the place. It really wouldn't be difficult to kind of immerse the Galactica area into the Phalanx facility. Obviously, my biggest issue with Galactica, I actually don't personally mind the coaster. I think it's okay, but I would love theming around it. And I've already talked about the building possibly being an option, but there's also, they could put some military equipment like guns around, because obviously then it looks like they're attacking the beast, or maybe even some scientific equipment, maybe even a different building that you fly through. So again, you're going on this rescue mission throughout the facility. Why not add more buildings that you fly through, and maybe some like labs and stuff where they're testing on pieces of the Nemesis creature. I think that'd be really, really good. This does kind of lead me on to another option which people have talked about. Some people have talked about a brand new coaster, just completely getting rid of Galactica. I don't see this personally happening, because I don't think the funds could be allocated realistically to this. However, a multi-launch or a coaster where you're kind of going through these buildings and you can stop midway through, and the coaster kind of slows down and it goes on that secondary launch. I think a multi-launch, I think Digital Dan talked about it, and I thought that was quite a good idea with a multi-launch. I personally don't see another coaster happening, unfortunately, though. Based on the fund issue, I don't see them having the funds, or even wanting to allocate the funds to build another coaster, especially with Project Horizon. You've also got the flat ride investment. You've got the Sky Ride being put multi-millions into. You know, money doesn't grow on trees at the end of the day. And I don't see them having, you know, I know retheme's not free either, but they are going to have to invest to make a retheme, but it's not going to be as much as taking out Galactica and putting a whole new coaster in there. Now, the most basic option they could do is just simply repaint the coaster, which it would be an improvement. But I think that is subpar, and it would be negatively received, to be honest, because Universal are knocking at the door, and by the end of the decade, they're probably going to be opening or definitely thinking about opening, and you could say that's 6 years away, which granted, you're not wrong, it is 6 years away. However, you've got to prepare for these things as a theme park. You can't just decide, oh yeah, well, you know, that's a bit of pain, it will do for now, because when Universal come and all their rides are themed, you're going to be behind the 8 ball at the end of the day, and you just be playing catch up from minute 1. So my personal idea, which is what I said a couple of videos ago, is the Phalanx are going to take over the entire area. Said it for weeks now, and again with the Phalanx 30 sign, I'm still thinking that idea is the most likely, and we'll still see Galactica being a flying coaster and not change to a different coaster. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you like Galactica? Would you want to tear it out and put a new coaster in there? Honestly, it would be good, but I don't see it happening. Fingers crossed, whatever gets done with Galactica is to a very good standard, just like Nemesis is. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Also, check out one of my Alton Towers vlogs here from around opening week. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.